Stepping off the plane, it's so easy to breathe again. Life in the big city has finally took its toll. And it's been so long, but I'm finally home and walk better place to rest my weary bones than on this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, home, home. Sweet Grenada, yeah, this is home.
Yeah, Grenada, Carriacou, PD Monic, and the world. I'd like to welcome you all to another Mikey Live program. People, it's been a pleasure for all the years and months that we've been doing this, people. I want to say thank you for your loyalty, people. We are here after a very dramatic and very interesting trip out there in Carriacou, covering the Kayak Mass 2019. It was not short of action, suspense, and drama. And of course, we will tell you about the results coming out of the Kayak Mass. It was interesting. You know, as usual, a lot of Grenadians went up there and do their business and all kind of thing like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So we are ready and we're good to go on this real news in all the Lily Lolo. We want to remind you that you can check out our website. That is mikeylive.com for the latest news. Now, let's talk to you about the headlines for tonight. Grenada government boys set to make contribution to Liat this month. Thinking pretty with Liat. So Grenada's government is stepping in. Brian Grimes, he hopes to be the next PWU president as the days and hours count down to the elections, which is going to be happening on Friday. The race for the leadership of the Public Workers Union is on, and we'll tell you more about that business in a moment. Real Grenadian hero lauded for dramatic rescue of fishermen out at sea. We'll talk about that. Men arrested for theft of vehicles. You know, the police boy, they've been having to deal with a lot of complaints about vehicle theft. Well, they catch two men. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that in a moment. Police recruitment exam. We'll tell you about that, as well as St. Andrew resident charged for unlawful contact with a minor. Health officials issue SU's dengue alert in St. Lucia, and we'll tell you more about that. Huh? Stick around, we'll tell you about that. And here's what, second patient free of HIV after stem cell treatment. We will tell all you about that, people. So brace all yourself. You see, we're taking a break. And you see, when we come back, it's going to be real news in all the little. I want to encourage you to share the business, share the program. You see, when you share the program, that's how other people get to know that we are here. That's how other people get to know that things start. All you, take all your time. We're coming back with real news. Stay tuned. The headlines was brought to you through kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emeralds International and WPG10. We will be back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the town. That is how we are with fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like in Spice Mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada for the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, you come. Split the rum, bring the girls. They can't. Get in your section, get in your direction. Get in your section, get in your direction. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Get in your section.
Quartz February NE sale is now on. Shop today for amazing deals like the LG 55-inch Smart TV, now only $2,399. Get the
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, and that's what we do at Quartz. We bring value home. All right, and we got to big up the staff at Digicel, boy. You know what I mean? Yeah, boy. Also, the first thing that I want to tell all you about is the Inland Revenue. The Inland Revenue Division, the IRD of the Ministry of Finance, Planning, Economic and Physical Development, advises the public of the following taxes that will be due and payable in the month of March April 2019. So for the 7th, we have pay as you earn, payee, and withholding tax due and payable. 11th, gaming tax due and payable. 20th, value added tax, VAT, and excise tax return due and payable. April 1st, income tax returns due for individuals, sole traders, partners, employees, also companies and businesses with fiscal year ending 30th December 2018. All right, now annual stamp tax returns and installments due and payable, and the deadline for payments on motor vehicle license 251 to 500 with plural letters, 2,501 to 5,000 with single letters. Now, they also would like to let you know that when the due date falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or public holiday, the next working day will be the due date for payment. Persons are encouraged to file and pay all taxes on time to avoid penalties and interest. Payments can be made at the Ministry of Finance and District Revenue Office. For further information, please contact Ms. Karine Moraine Alexander, Public Relations Officer, Inland Revenue Division at the Ministry. All right, just if you want to know something about that information that I just gave you, 435-6945 or 435-6946. You can also email gndIRD@ird.gd. Okay, there are some things while we were out we were not able to tell you about, but we will briefly go through some of them. What's trending right now is the fact that the government of Grenada has announced its intention to make a cash contribution to LIAT by the end of this month. Now, the Minister of Trade, Industry, Cooperatives and CARICOM Affairs, Honorable Oliver Joseph, said that the decision was made at Monday's cabinet meeting, that's a post-cabinet briefing that they usually have. No, well, the meeting that they usually have, and then the briefing, he made the announcement. No, he made that announcement, while discussing with the media some of the decisions that were made. All right. Now, he was saying that the government's decision comes against the backdrop of agreement by CARICOM heads of government at their recent inter-seasonal meeting that LIAT should be restructured. He said, quote, "For Grenada, we have always maintained that we would like to see LIAT continue to serve the people of the region, but in order for us to contribute state resources to LIAT, the airline must be restructured and operated in a manner that ensures sustainability." Now, what you find happening is that so many people are actually now discussing this on social media. They are discussing this on the radio. They're calling in various talk shows and talking about the government's decision to do this. Grenada's Prime Minister one time said that, it is not something that he's encouraged to do, and that they need to operate LIAT as a business. Those sentiments were somewhat echoed by Minister Oliver Joseph when he spoke to the media about this matter, saying that it has to be one that doesn't involve any political interference, but should be run by business people. All right, so let's see how that one go. Yeah, boy. One man was on the TV tonight saying, well, where the money coming out from? You understand? Anyway, lately that talk there. The next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, Brian Grimes. 2 more days to go. And there was a press conference held today. All right? 2 more days to go for the elections of the Public Workers Union. So the current public relations officer, Mr. Brian Grimes, he today presented his team to lead the Public Workers Union for the next 2 years, should he be elected as the president. Now he's coming up against his president, current, Rachel Roberts. We had a little business for all the other day where Rachel talked about what she wanted to see and how she wanted to take the union forward. About 2 weeks ago, we shared that business with you. And so we have Mr. Grimes today, saying that he has put together a team that will work in the interest of the public workers. He said they are ready to work.
I understand the importance of teamwork. No individual person can change the trajectory of trade unionism or our very, very respected institution. It takes a team of the motto of PW is in unity, success is assured. So I have multi-talented people along with me in terms of accreditation and degrees and so forth. But the common thread is not degrees, it's not qualification in that stead, but a desire to improve representation for public officers within this country in the next 2 years. Up here, I can assure you, there are people with different political persuasions, they vote for different party, whatever it is. But the commonality is they care about PW and they care about the elevation of workers' rights. So I'm very excited with the team I have here, and I'm just encouraging public officers to come out in their numbers. Do not be disenchanted, do not be disillusioned. Change is about to come, and that change will be positive.
All right, folks, we want to apologize for the quality of the audio for that, but you know, it's a small thing. So he says that change is about to come, and that change will be positive. He said the team is ready to work, and it is a team of fighters, even though they are going to be focusing on a great degree of humility and having a different approach towards leadership or towards leading and negotiating.
But make no mistake, it is written in the book of Ecclesiastes that there is a time for everything. Table here, each face you see here, they are fighters. They are known fighters. They stand for something and they act on what they believe. Each person here is well respected within the public service. So do not take that narrative of humility to believe that this executive will be trampled upon. That's not the case. Only lions are talking. Alright? So yes, we will approach the table with humility, but when it comes to fighting, we have some warriors at the table.
Alright. So folks, will there be a wind of change blowing in the PWU? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Or will there be a continuation of the president, the current president, Rachel Roberts, who vows that she's going to continue to fight, who vows that she's going to continue to work in the interest of the public workers? And she needs a whole thing, fringe benefits and continue fighting for gratuity and for pension and all that kind of business. So folks, the thing happening on Friday, and you will hear all about it. You understand? Some of the members on Brian's team are members of the current executive, under which Rachel leads. So Daisy Hazard, PRO, now she's going to be kinda. Devon James, first vice president. Paula Phillip, treasurer. Agnes Agatha Alexis, secretary. You understand? So these are some of the members who are already members of the executive. So some of these members are going up unchallenged. Yeah, I ain't making it up. Some of these members are going up unchallenged. So let me see what's going on. They say that they are children of God and thing, you know. And we have, you know. Anyway, let me see what's going on here. How are you looking for time? Let me see what's going on. That's what I can say. Let me see what's going on. The thing pretty. All right. There are some other members now that are coming in. We have Margaret Goddard is applying for the position of assistant secretary. Susan Peters for second assistant secretary in Carriacou, and Fimba Thomas for second vice president. Make up all the whole self, everybody on the business, all right? Right, how are we looking? Now, the Grand Theft issue in Grenada, boy, we were telling all you about that, because what's going on is that some persons have complained against persons who go in and thief in the vehicle theft, grand larceny. Now, police say that they have had a major breakthrough. That's officers at the South St. George police station. Now, they say they have made a significant breakthrough with the arrest of two persons. Two persons, they say, in connection with the disappearance of vehicles in the policing district, the South St. George district. So we have Roger Jeliso. I think I'm pronouncing it kind of funny, but it's a funny word too. I don't know if it's English, French, or Dutch. 48 years old, is a farmer of Corinth in St. David. And Chiffon Alexis, 19 years, is unemployed of Grandans Valley. They both appeared at the St. George's Magistrates Court last week, boy. Friday, I think, you know. You understand? Yeah, man. Was it last week? I don't think it was last week. Well, anyway, they appeared in court, right? So, Roger now has been charged with 1 count of stealing a motor vehicle, possession of ammunition, and possession of an offensive weapon, and is remanded to a magistrate's prison. Right? He will soon make his court appearance. Now, Alexis has been charged with 3 counts of stealing a motor vehicle, 3 counts of driving without a valid license, and 1 count of driving without due care and attention. Now, he will appear at the St. George's Magistrates Court on the 8th of March 2019. Now, the police say that they want to extend appreciation to the public and the media for your assistance. You understand? We are moving on. Folks, one man and his team is being lauded for a dramatic rescue of three fishermen from St. Patrick's. Now, they were rescued at sea last week, boy. You understand? They said that the vessel began taking in water, and the men sent out a distress signal, people. They say the rescuer, Mr. Bailey, Clinton Bailey, was out fishing, and he heard the captain calling on the radio for help. You understand? They say, and he went 44 miles out of Grenada. From Grenada. He said he found them in distress. He found them people. Them people, they were from St. Patrick's. You know, and they fishing and thing, boy. And then one thing led to the next, and the boat started sinking. You understand? So Mr. Bailey and his team are now local heroes. You might not hear anything big about it yet. In terms of thing. We might wait for a national event or some kind of business. But we don't waiting for that. We declare Mr. Clinton Bailey, give us a round of applause on the program. Give Mr. Bailey and his team a round of applause on the program. Because they are not going to be declared as top fans of the program. We don't know if they just watch or not. Maybe they do. They are being declared as local, as national heroes. Because we could have been telling a different story on the program. So you can't just go ahead like it's business as usual. No. Who said that? Nothing so. Let's take a moment of the dramatic rescue.
Alright, guys, happy to see you all. All you saw the boat before? Yeah. All you wasn't hearing the horn.
No, I didn't hear the horn.
I'm blowing the horn. Well, watch, I had a videotape that as evidence, eh? No, the boat, that way everything come up. That way everything come up. Alright, so y'all good? Well, just, right, you good? Nice. Alright.
People, Mr. Bailey is one of the owners of a funeral home, you know. Mr. Bailey could have just sit down and wait it out. It a bit, I'm making it up. Mr. Bailey could have sit down and wait it out. Because it'd be good for business, I'm making no joke. But the man decided he was going to do the human thing and save them people. They say he don't waste no time with no people. They say the man don't waste no time, he just went into action. You understand? I tell you all the way. We lauding the man as a hero, boy. He and the team, boy. Because they are heroes. You know what I mean? The last time I had a fish that dead, I buried for myself. The next time if I have another fish I dead, I'll go in by Mr. Bailey. I ain't making it up. You know what I mean? So Mr. Bailey, me fish. You know what I mean? Me fish. Anyway, let's leave that talk. So, all yeah, on a serious note, let's get serious now. Enough fun. So, this is what has happened. Yeah? And so they are being lauded as local heroes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. Anyway, let me leave that talk. Mr. Bailey, good morning, good evening, whatever time of the program you watch the program, big up your whole self. I tell you the next time. Anyway, let me leave that talk. Next story in all the lady load on how we looking for time. All here. On another note, boy, we have had two very unfortunate incidents happening at the Las Vegas beach. You know, up to yesterday, the Coast Guard and them, they were searching for a missing man at the Las Vegas beach. They say he went missing while he was swimming and things like that, you know. He's 87-year-old, you know, Mr. Byron Joseph. You know, he's actually from Westerhurst and Davids. You see, at the time, he was in the company of family members and, you know, just went under. You know, so yesterday they were searching. It was reported that his body was fished out of the water. I wasn't able to independently verify that, you know, because I was en route to Grenada. You understand? But that's what one of the latest news that I heard. Now, this incident happened just 2 days after another incident happened at Las Vegas, where a 67-year-old citizen of the United States died while swimming at the same beach. Scott Fitzpatrick. They say he was in company of his wife on Saturday. You understand? When he encountered difficulties and he went under. You understand? They say that efforts to resuscitate him proved futile. He was subsequently taken to the General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Now, an autopsy was conducted and it was revealed that he died as a result of heart failure. You know what I mean? Yeah, boy. Yeah, no. Although, the Royal Grenada Police Force wishes to remind the general public that its recruitment examination on mainland Grenada will be held on Saturday. We're talking about this Saturday, commencing at 9 a.m. at the following venues. We have St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School, SAS Telescope. St. George, we have the Grenada Boys Secondary School, the GBSS in Tantine, and in St. John, we had the St. Rose Modern Secondary School in Guave. Now, the age requirement is 19 years and 19 to 35. You understand? So, Mikey, you can't be police again, forget that. Because your time running out. You have a few more months, your time running out. So, I can't make the age. I always wanted to be a police. Now, there's a height requirement. Let me see if your boy could make it. Police say you have to be, for women, 5 feet 4 inches high. Thank God I'm not a woman. Just saying. But for men, 5 feet 7 inches. I never hear that yet. I feel hurt. I'm very perturbed and disturbed because the police discriminating against me. I had no choice in the matter. Mr. Commissioner of Police, I just know that I want to serve my country and be a police officer. So you say that semi-dwarf like me can't come and serve my country as a police officer. Yeah, I think I have to go in the police because I want to be the media consultant for the police. You know what I mean? I have a little strategy. I write it down and already, but I want to go to the system. You know what I mean? And do the whole thing. I want to wear clothes. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. Persons are encouraged to be there at least half an hour before the start of the examination, and you're kindly asked to walk with a snack or light refreshments, pen and pencils. Please note that examinations is expected to last for several hours. Now, the recruitment examination for carrier crew and a PT Martinique will be held on Saturday, 16th March at the Magistrates Court, Hillsborough at 9 a.m. You understand? I 5'2", so I have a long way to go before the police could even look at me for like a registration. You understand? When the police right there and they say next and they look up so you don't see me, I have to look down. Well, sir, you know? Yeah, no. All here. So here the next story, we had a big up Hamlet and then people on WPG10. We see all of day. Big up all the whole self. You know what I mean? All them viewers on WPG10, make sure you check out the programming on WPG10. You know what I mean? They have nice like a sports and nice like a entertainment business and thing. St. Andrew. This is what something has happened in your community. Let's tell you what, okay? A St. Andrew resident who has been charged with 2 counts of sexual intercourse with a minor was remanded to Her Majesty's prison. Folks, them cases and them start to show the ugly head again. You know, it's like it's seasonal. You understand, people? So, Mr. Kenrick Francis, a 35-year-old carpenter of Mamacan, St. Andrew, was arrested and charged at the weekend after the minor who was at his residence tried to evade the police. Investigations reveal that they met through a social media platform, you know. Now, Francis appeared at the Grenville Magistrates Court on Tuesday. That was yesterday. After failing to post bail, he will return to court on March 25th, 2019. Police say that their investigations are ongoing. And I mean, so, yeah. So anyway, like that talk there. And I mean, who are looking for time? That's not the only one. There was another incident in St. John, where another man was charged and things like that. You know, those cases, like I said, they are again starting to show their ugly head, and we don't want to have to deal with that on them. You know what I mean? It's about time that we get rid of that in our society. You guys agree? Yeah, man, we are just having too many of these sort of incidences, you know, of child sexual abuse, rape, and all those kind of things, and them, like, you know, yeah, boy, no, folks, it's tough. Oh, yeah, we just come out of Carriacou, you know, it was a nice little time and thing, you know, your boy play a mass, you know, it was a really interesting carnival season, as always, you know. Carriacou need no motivation to celebrate the carnival. You know, they had their vibes and things like that. And so we want to tell you about some of the winners of carnival, especially for the last 2 days outside of the Calypso and stuff like that, right? So we have for road match, Donald Trump won road match. Smalls featuring the regulars. Yes, they were the ones who captured the road match title. Then we had Trending by Clever, second place. And there was Jack Iron, Boneless. You know, it was a closely contended road match. I thought Boneless a winner. That too bad. Jack Iron, Captain, yo. Maybe I gotta check Jack Iron. Who making Jack Iron? I'll check Jack Iron. Yeah, they sponsor the program for me to talk more about that business. There we go. Next talk now. Fancy Mass Boy, Band of the Year, JCB. We show you that the other day. I'll see it on the program, right? So without, yeah. Anyway, just go back on the page and I'll go see it. Rainbow City All-Stars came second. Rainbow City Mass Promoter, sorry. Then we had Carnival Lovers third and Wings of Sparrow fourth. And Monday Night Mass was won by Palm Tree Vibes and Amazing Colors second. There were only 2 Monday Night Mass bands, 4 Fancy Mass bands, and of course we were told about the road match, right? The 3 top positions: Donald Trump, Trending, and Jack Iron. how we're looking for time. All yeah. I want to encourage you all to share the business. Just share it to one person so that they know that the program is on. You know what I mean? Yeah, some people just want to know. They want to be told that the program is on. So I'll just share the business, alright? All yeah. Yeah, I was telling you about the St. John issue now. Mr. David Thomas, 59-year-old Stevedore of Grand Roy, St. John. He has been charged with 2 counts of indecent behavior following investigations. He permitted a minor to engage in non-penetrative sex acts, according to the police. Thomas was granted $10,000 bail with 1 surety and is due to make his first court appearance at the Go of Magistrates Court. That's going to be on the 26th of March. Yeah. So let's hear about that one, all right? We have to take all here to and just note, people, all right, that the news items that we read, in particular those that talks about arrests and charges and so on, are not meant to imply guilt. Okay, these are just these are arrests and information that is sent to us by the police about these charges. All right, more often than not, there will be the most serious charges that is sent to us. All right. Now, with regard to health, I want to tell you 2 interesting stories. The first, one that Grenada has to pay particular attention to, that is the whole issue of dengue. Now, health officials in St. Lucia, they have issued a dengue alert amid reported deaths of neighboring islands like Martinique and all these islands. They are taking no chance. All right, and we want to share a particular report with you from we people, you know, it's like that we sister station and you know, at the HTS News Force on that development. Let's take it a bit.
Officials are concerned that type 3 dengue fever may be rearing its ugly head once again. In 2010-2011, the island recorded a dengue epidemic in types 1, 2, and 4. The last dengue epidemic was in 2013 with type 4. Type 3 dengue fever was last noted over a decade ago. But now, with neighboring island Martinique recording cases in types 1 and 3, health officials worry that people born after 2009 may be susceptible to the disease.
We have quite a large population, anybody who's less than about 10 years or younger, who probably has never been exposed to type 3 before. And it is definitely a concern when persons who have not been exposed when a disease enters a country where persons haven't previously been exposed. Because usually it means those persons haven't developed antibodies, and it's quite possible that you may have a larger outbreak as a result of that, because you have more persons who are susceptible to the condition. So we need to be on guard.
Healthcare providers usually note a spike in dengue fever during the rainy season. However, due to deaths from the virus in neighboring Martinique, the health ministry is on high alert.
Even if we're in a relatively dry period, we are having some periods, some showers, and we know that once there are showers and once there is water which is uncovered in and around the home, the mosquitoes can breed. We're asking persons to be on guard, be on the alert. At this point in time, we are not seeing an increase in dengue cases, but as we said, other countries in the region are noticing an increase. Countries very near to us, the French territories, are noticing an increase, hence we need to be on the alert.
St. Lucians are reminded that prevention of mosquito proliferation and bites is one of the best ways to stay safe from dengue fever.
We know about wearing long-sleeve clothing, using the insect repellents in our house, using the mosquito screens that we should have in our homes, and all of the other things that we need to do to protect ourselves from getting bitten by mosquitoes, whilst at the same time preventing the breeding of mosquitoes. All breeding sites are addressed and removed cover any water which is being stored around the home, clean out your drums, empty them, make sure they're covered, properly covered, get rid of refuse, old tires and containers and anything that can trap water and encourage the breeding of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
The Health Ministry urges citizens to take all the necessary actions to prevent an outbreak of dengue. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Gina. And of course, that also applies to us. We do not have to wait for the authorities. In fact, the authorities have spoken about this. And let's remind you of the importance of avoiding contracting the dengue, because dengue don't play. Yeah? And another thing that we have to tell you about, boys, that a London man appears to be free of the HIV/AIDS virus after a stem cell transplant. And this is being reported worldwide now, and we would like to share that with you again. It's an HTS report on this matter.
This new case report comes more than 10 years after a similar case known as the Berlin patient. Both patients were treated with stem cell transplants from donors who carried a rare genetic mutation known as CCR5 Delta 32 that made them resistant to HIV. The London patient has been in remission for 18 months since he stopped taking antiretroviral drugs. Ravindra Gupta, lead author of the study and a professor in University College London's Division of Infection and Immunity, said that by achieving remission in a second patient using a similar approach shows that the Berlin patient was not an anomaly and that it really was the treatment approaches that eliminated HIV in these two people. Gupta added, however, that the method used is not appropriate for all patients but offers hope for new treatment strategies including gene therapies. He and his colleagues will continue to monitor the man's condition, as it is still too early to say that he has been cured of HIV. Almost 1 million people die annually from HIV-related causes. Treatment for HIV involves medications that suppress the virus known as antiretroviral therapy, which people with HIV need to take for their entire lives. Gupta's patient, a male resident of the UK who prefers to remain anonymous, was diagnosed with HIV infection in 2003 and began antiretroviral therapy in 2012. Later, he was diagnosed with advanced Hodgkin's lymphoma. After chemotherapy, he underwent a stem cell transplant in 2016 and subsequently remained in an antiretroviral therapy for 16 months. Despite various attempts by scientists using the same approach, Brown had remained the only person cured of HIV until the new London patient. This development has been greeted with excitement in the scientific community, which may be eager to replicate the latest findings. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
Thank you, Jacqueline. And of course, folks, what we're going to do right now is take a quick break and come right back with the National Report.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the tongue. That is how we are, we fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like you spice mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada to the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, no, come. Split the rum, bring the gas. They can't.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
The Ring Promotions presents Proceed, the reunion. Grenada, this is it. Wednesday, April 24th, and it's going down above the Ramada 2. Wednesday, leading into the Easter weekend. Tell me, baby, are you done talking? It's a reunion of mind, spirit, friends, and music, featuring today's hottest DJs in the mix, playing the biggest hits from the 90s. Versus present day hits. Run with it. Ladies, get your early bird $35 tickets now. Plus, you can bring a 375 ml plastic bottle drink or less on board. General admission $45. Get your tickets now from Charlie's Bar and Pierre's Barbershop Victoria, the Natural Punch Shop, and Heather's Boutique in St. George's. Boarding time 7 p.m. Boat sales at 8 p.m. sharp. Proceed, the reunion, Wednesday, April 24th.
Alrighty then, cool. And now we have for you the National Report.
Grenada gets positive outlook on its journey towards climate resilience. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, March 6th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. A local climate change consultant is projecting a positive outlook for Grenada on its journey towards climate resilience. Dr. Spencer Thomas says it is good news that Grenada has all the legal framework in place to push implementation and secure funding for climate resilient projects. He was addressing senior management officials and permanent secretaries at a high-profile capacity building seminar on climate change adaptation and financing at the National Stadium on Wednesday. However, he says more needs to be done to build national level capacity to access more funding from international organizations.
There are a lot of opportunities available, but we have to get our house in order to ensure that we are able to leverage the funds available for climate change. I think we have a very good international profile, but as we indicated to the cabinet, this is not enough. We need to have the national level capacity to leverage the resources. We're coming out of the structural adjustment program. I think we are in a very good state right now. We have a lot of legislation in place. The legal framework is in place. We need to get some bodies, some really human resource, and we need to populate some of the ministries and ensure that they have the systems in place so that we can access the resources.
Grenada's outlook is positive as the knowledge of what the country is faced with is well known. Dr. Thomas warned that the consequences of not doing enough to address climate change as a small state can be detrimental.
We know what the science is in. The science is saying to us that the consequences of not doing anything and not doing enough is dire going forward for all small island developing states, for all the countries in the region and beyond. So we now need to take action. Our position has always been in the negotiation that we need to be very strong, very firm, very clear in the negotiation and very ambitious, because we believe that if we're not on the table of the negotiation and making those requisite noises and demands, that we will be eaten for supper.
The workshop provided an insight on the interlinkages with other important policies relevant for Grenada's climate responses, highlight the importance of Grenada's obligation to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, and made recommendations for climate implementations. In related news, senior managers and senior government officials are more equipped to tackle the effects of climate change. This is following a two-day high-profile capacity building workshop for decision makers organized by the Environment Division and GIZ in the Ministry of Climate Resilience. The workshop was geared towards sensitizing ministers and permanent secretaries about climate change adaptation and how recommendations and strategies can be incorporated into the work in their respective ministries. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment, Forestry, Disaster Management and Information, Marina Jessamy, says Grenada's focus must be on project implementation and sustainability.
We live along the front lines of climate change. And I think the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season demonstrates the seriousness of that. The Ministry of Climate Resilience continue to link climate adaptation, mitigation, and disaster risk reduction for that very reason. I believe that we have a policy infrastructure in place. We have a national adaptation plan. We have a national climate change policy. We have a nationally determined contributions program that speaks to mitigation. We have a national coastal zone management policy. We have legislation that will revise, but it's implementation time. And truly we need your support. And I believe that with a holistic view on climate resilience action, we will be able to support PS Brizan and the team to continue implementation at a very rapid pace.
The workshop was held against the backdrop of a 2018 meeting on adaptation to climate change in Grenada at the Senior Management Board, where it was decided that permanent secretaries are key to providing guidance to the focal points so as to contribute to the success of the National Adaptation Plan. Permanent Secretaries Pauline Peters, Elvis Moraine and Kevin Andel are all excited about networking to contribute towards Grenada's drive to climate adaptation and resilience.
It is very important, the formation of the focal points, the climate change focal point network, where our various focal points within the ministries can work together to develop the projects and deal with the issues affecting climate change across sectors.
We have to be integral with it. I cannot see us being a standalone or on a limb where climate issues are concerned. So we have to contribute by way of doing the legwork, that is providing the data, providing the information on the ground, by also formulating projects that are going to benefit us as a sector. So I believe we have an integral role to play in the entire process.
If we use the Whitney Houston song, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. One of the major champions for climate change would be children, would be young people. Now, because we are in charge of that, we can mainstream climate change issues within the educational sector. That now requires not only Ministry of Education, or Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, all of the partners coming together and approaching this holistically as one body. What I believe strongly that Ministry of Education has a critical role to play in the whole issue of climate change.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Tomorrow's future is here today. Friday, April 5th. Kirani James Athletic Stadium. National Secondary School Games. Run, throw, jump. National Secondary School Games 2019. Your games, your future.
Welcome back. Grenada can look forward to hosting night cricket in the near future once lights are installed at the National Cricket Stadium according to ICC specifications. During Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing, Honorable Oliver Joseph, Minister for Trade, Industry, Cooperatives and CARICOM Affairs, says lights will be also installed at the Lasajas playing field, where practice matches will be held by international teams. He says they must ensure that Grenada conforms to the rules of the International Cricket Council.
We had announced previously that the stadium will be lighted up so we can have night cricket, international cricket played on the lights. Well, we are almost there now because the tendering process has been completed and the lights have now been sourced as we speak, because the ICC have their specification, which we must meet the international standard, and so we have to ensure that we have the right light. The money has been budgeted for both the National Stadium and La Sagesse. Now you might ask why La Sagesse? Because La Sagesse is the ground on which the international teams will go and practice. Right? So you have to have the same standard of lights when teams come to Grenada.
And finally, Grenada will celebrate International Women's Day on Friday with a women's village that will, among other things, encourage women to tap into non-traditional job markets. It will also serve as an avenue for networking. Mrs. Elaine Henry McQueen is the Senior Program Officer for the Division of Gender and Family Affairs in the Ministry of Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment. She highlights some of the main activities for the day.
The specific activity for International Women's Day that we are pleased to host and to collaborate with several partners on is a women's village. The women's village will be at the Botanic Gardens, the Sir Eric Gary Botanical Gardens, near to the gazebo and the surrounding areas there. It will be on Friday, March 8th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. This activity is one where particularly women and girls can come together to receive information on a range of topics, but especially about non-traditional jobs, and to encourage them to widen the kinds of ideas we have about what is good for women to do as employment. We will also hold several cafes, discussion cafes. We will receive speeches. There will be tea and other events. There will be entertainment and activities ongoing during that day.
The Ministry of Social Development is working with its partners to host the event. One of them is Seroptimus International Grenada, which helps to improve the lives of women and girls. Its president is Loris Pascal.
We are collaborating this year with the Ministry of Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment on this very important theme. And we're going to be just shifting a bit from the theme, but I think it's the same. We're looking for balance for better. So when we look at how the economic space is being petered out for our women and girls, we feel that we should be encouraging more to take up those jobs that seems to be paying the most money and which is the most frequent.
That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, March 6th. Recapping the top story. Grenada gets positive outlook on its journey towards climate resilience. On behalf of everyone who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Alrighty, Rakisha, thank you very much for that, and everyone else who was part of the national report and the production. We want to say thank you as well. Oh, it's a little warmer tonight. We have here the weather for you. Let's take a look at the precipitation for tonight. There doesn't seem to be much in focus for tonight in terms of precipitation or rain. We have 0% humidity, 81%, wind 18 kilometers per hour. All right, and the minimum temperature for tonight is expected to be just around 26 degrees Celsius. Today's maximum, just around 29 degrees. All right, folks. That's what we have in terms of the generic weather forecast for you. All right, and we're going to come back tomorrow, God's willing, and have another program for you right here on Facebook, YouTube, and WPG10. Let's just quickly say hello to a few people who are on the program. Yeah, we ought to say hi to Kireen, Shireen, Zaka, Melly. I see that Spice Girl is there as well, so we had to big up Spice Girl. Rolanda is with us tonight as well. Eleanor is with us as well. Arthur, big up Shireen Patrick, Peterkin, sorry. Sheena, that is. Spice Girl, big up. Yeah, I see you. Jade, Monica, Nika, Naomi, Peter, Crispin, big up your whole self. All right. We have Joan with us. We have Ezran, Sally, big up your whole self. We have Rose, Angel, Clisselda, Patsy, big up your whole self as well. Eunice, hello Eunice. Veronica, Yes, I see you, Kewin. And Oliver, big up your whole self. Marvin, big up your whole self. Marvin, I see you there. Kim and Neki. All right. And we have my sister Lintona and my mom, Rosalind, and Josephine is with us as well. And Jane. All right, guys. Yeah, Crispin, I call your name already. Jennifer, big up your whole self as well. And Hazel, I see you there. So, guys, big up all the whole self. We're going to come back tomorrow, God's willing. All right, Nika? And then we're going to do thing again, Sonny. Don't worry yourself. We're going to ice you up. Yes, Mommy, I see you. So, guys, have a good one. God bless you. All right, let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we all say, Ja, no. Good night, everyone. God bless you.